Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I'm here to do another HP Chat. Just in case you don't already know, HP Chats is a series of videos that I do on my channel that is all about Harry Potter, the world of Harry Potter, the characters, the things I love, the things I'm a bit more critical of. In general, if you like Harry Potter and you like discussing Harry Potter, HP Chats is a series I think you may like. So the Harry Potter series is one that I have read countless times in my life, and one that I will continue to read and reread as I get older. It means more to me than any book or series that I've ever read. It is a world that is going to continue to make me cry and laugh and fall in love over and over again with these characters and relationships and stories. And yesterday, this series that I love oh so much turned 20. 20 years since the very first ever Harry Potter book was published and out in the world. So, with all of my love and passion in mind, I have a few questions. The last time I reread the series a couple of years ago, I had this huge notebook and I took notes on it the entire time I was reading, and I'm gonna ask a few of those questions now. What was Charlie Weasley's response to being contacted by his 11-year-old brother to help him smuggle an illegal dragon out of school in the middle of the night? What kind of friends does Charlie have that they all agreed to this? And did he just agree to it because this is the kind of question he expects from his family, or did he just agree to it because dragons? I understand that rationale, I just want to know. So the very first time Sirius Black is ever mentioned is in the first chapter of the first book, which but when he's mentioned by Hagrid says that he has Sirius's motorbike. Does Hagrid not yet know that Sirius is going to be accused of the murder of James and Lily? Did Sirius have a few hours of freedom, or did they just not tell Hagrid yet? If he did have those few hours of freedom, what did he do with it? Do you think he went after Harry? Do you think he tried to chase after Peter? What did he do with that time? And if he did have that free time, how much time was it before they finally decided to accuse him? How did Molly Weasley momentarily forget the number of the platform in the first book? She has been to platform 9 3/4 so many times. How did she momentarily go, what's the number of the platform again? Molly, I know you're busy, honey, but pull yourself together a little bit. Were all of the professors from Harry's first year at Hogwarts super embarrassed when a group of 11-year-olds beat all of their carefully planned tasks? That would have been embarrassing for me as a professional. So Ron and Harry complain a lot about the amount they have to write for essays and stuff, but what they're actually being told to write, at least according to the American editions of the books, is 12 inches of parchment. That is one page. One handwritten page. And it's an essay about magic. This isn't a question, I'm just annoyed that they were resistant to doing one page of magic homework. Do you guys remember the fact that Dumbledore wears a floral bonnet at Christmas? Because if you don't, this is your reminder. So Hagrid puts together this fabulous scrapbook that he gives Harry, full of pictures of his parents, sometimes pictures of Harry with his parents. Who did Hagrid ask for these photos? Okay, Remus maybe, that's a person you can ask, but besides that, who had access to photos of James and Lily? What was the call list like when Hagrid was trying to put together this fabulous emotional scrapbook? Was there a fifth resident of the Gryffindor boys' dorms, the years that the Marauders were there? Because there were 5 as Harry's growing up, and if there was a fifth guy in the Marauders dorm, then where is he? I mean, dear God, is the man okay? Did he fade into non-existent sadness? Does Albus Dumbledore care about the education standards at his school? Because it seems like he doesn't. So Gilderoy Lockhart is there, and it seems kind of like he's just there to be tested? Did Dumbledore just decide that this year the kids didn't really need to learn Defense Against the Dark Arts and it was just going to be a wash for them? So I actually just checked Pottermore for this. So apparently Dumbledore knew a couple of the wizards that Gilderoy Lockhart had ripped off, and he really just wanted to prove that Gilderoy was a fraud, and he couldn't think of a way to do that besides putting him in an academic setting. He literally didn't care about the students' education that year. He just decided it was more important to prove that this guy messed with his bros. Wow, Dumby, good educating. Did Snape ever find out that Hermione set him on fire? And if he didn't, can I be the one to tell him? Are there other ways of punishing Wizarding World crimes besides Azkaban? Because that seems like kind of an extreme. So if you're super bad, you go to Azkaban. Okay, but if you're somewhere in the middle bad, do you just get a slap on the wrist, or do you go to depression jail? Because I just feel like not all crimes in the wizarding world are slowly have the will to live sucked out of you material. Who bought Lupin the personalized briefcase that he uses in Prisoner of Azkaban? Who did it? Did he have to buy it for himself? Because I assure you, if his friends had been there, they would have bought him the coolest, nicest personalized briefcase. But the only thing I can envision in my mind is that he had to buy it himself, and I don't want to think about that, okay? Why was there no standardized method of measuring who was allowed to have what kind of brooms at this school? Like, it's a system that inherently benefits the rich, and it would be so easy to fix with, like, standardized systems. But instead we have this thing where people like Draco Malfoy are allowed to buy superior equipment to have, like, a greater advantage. Come to think of it, it seems like possibly there might exist some elitism in the wizarding world. Maybe. Don't quote me on that, though. Why did Barty Crouch Jr. do such a good job at teaching the year that he was the Defense Against the Dark Arts professor? Like, he is the dark arts. He's the thing that all these kids are gonna have to fight against at some point. So why was he, like, the second best professor that they had in 7 years? He especially tries to teach Harry to, like, resist Imperio. And who is going to be trying to use that curse on him but Death Eaters? Why would you want to prepare Harry for that? I know some of it is to get through, like, the Tri-Wizard tournament, but other than that, why was he such a good teacher? What was in it for him? Do they rate professors at Hogwarts and he just really wanted to get an excellent score on Rate My Professor? So I know this is a question that has been asked numerous times before, but Educational Decree number 31 states that boys and girls cannot be within 8 inches of one another. Is this an issue of Umbridge not knowing queer people exist? Is it an issue of J.K. Rowling just knowing that Dumbledore's gay and so there can't statistically be any more gays in all of Hogwarts? Was this a time that, like, the queer community at Hogwarts just thrived and they were so happy? Did non-binary students stare at the sign and just cackle? It just feels like maybe this educational decree was not fully considered in all of its ramifications. So I already know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Goose Commander was expelled, or almost expelled, I don't really know where we came out on that, from Hogwarts because he did something with a magical creature that endangered a student. This is not a thing he was actually guilty of doing, he just was taking the fall for someone else. And when he left Hogwarts, he basically got the job that he got to travel the world, still doing magic, and doing the thing he loved, which is, like, taking care of magical creatures. Hagrid got expelled for the exact same thing. It was also not a crime that he committed, but when he was expelled, his wand was snapped and he was told that he was never allowed to do magic again, and he was not let back into the school even when his name was cleared. So I'm just wondering where the double standard lies, and I'll let you know. It's Wizarding World racism. That's the answer to this question. It's racism. Why, of all the incredibly life-endangering things that a student does on a day-to-day at Hogwarts, is the one thing that they're required to get a permission slip for going to Hogsmeade? That's like the least dangerous thing that this school endorses in 7 books, and yet you're still required to get a permission slip signed by your abusive relatives in order to be allowed to go and buy sweets. Okay, Dumbledore! We assume that all the Defense Against the Dark Arts professors use the same office throughout the books. So, when the office moved from Umbridge's possession to Snape's, was it still decorated like Umbridge's office when Snape got it? Like, I don't care if he redecorated immediately. How long did he have to brood in a pink room surrounded by kittens? I don't care if this is accurate, it is a delight to picture, and I hope that you enjoy picturing it too. Is the Weasley's car still just chilling in the Forbidden Forest? Like, do the Centaurs run across it on a day-to-day basis and just get annoyed as it interrupts their serene pretentiousness? What on earth were the Grangers' responses when they kept getting letters from Hogwarts about what Hermione had been up to? She turned herself into a cat. How did her muggle parents respond to that? Can you imagine being a muggle, living your dentist life, and you open up a letter from your daughter's school and they're like, oops, she turned herself into a cat? What do you say to that? Do they know that she had to use time travel to attend additional classes, or do they decide not to tell them that after their response to the cat thing. Students died at the school on a year-to-year basis. Did Dumbledore have to send them a letter about that? What did Aberforth Dumbledore do with the goat? Okay, I know this isn't an important question. Maybe it's been answered before, but I can't take this anymore. What did he do to get the reputation with the goat? What did he do? What did he do to the goat? Did the Golden Trio ever get to tell the Potter Watch people how much listening to that meant to them? Did Dean Thomas ever listen? Did Seamus Finnegan ever listen in his free hours whenever he could, hoping for a word that his friends, that Dean might still be alive out there somewhere? Did members of the Order make sure to get the passwords into members of the DA so that they could get together in the Room of Requirement and listen to these people who were resisting to give them hope? Because I hope that that's exactly what happened. And finally, how does this series continue to mean as much to me as it does? How do I continue to get new things out of it every single time I reread it? How does my relationship to these characters and these stories continue to evolve and change every time I get older? I'm critical of Harry Potter, constantly. I don't know how to consume the things I'm passionate about without also being critical of those things. In fact, I think being critical of a thing is kind of how you show your passion of that thing. It means you're invested and that you care so much. But this series and the people who were involved in it, who read it and loved it, were my window into a world of so much more. They were what introduced me to so many things in my life that I will forever be grateful for. And I know that this is a series that has helped significantly to make me who I am today as an adult. I have no idea who I would be today if it wasn't for Harry Potter. And even if I am critical of things, that is a passion that's never going to leave me. Okay guys, there you go. Those are some of my questions that I have about the series. Some, not all. I still have all of my notes, and I would love to reread the series and come up with more things that I'm curious about. If you have answers to any of these questions, please let me know in the comments below, or if you just want to talk about Harry Potter, please do. It is one of my favorite topics of conversation. If it's in the comments, if it's on Twitter or Tumblr, or wherever. If you want to talk about Harry Potter, believe me, I am here to talk about it with you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed hearing all of my little queries, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!